Hey folks, me and the men and women of the Clay County Sheriff's Office just want to weigh in on what we're seeing going on, played out across the media or mainstream media in this country. Look folks, don't fall victim to subjecting yourselves to this conversation that law enforcement is bad, that law enforcement is the enemy of the citizens that we're sworn to protect and serve. We swore an oath. And in that oath, we swore to support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the government. And that we're duly qualified under the state's constitution to hold office. That is, for me as a sheriff, and for these men and women as deputy sheriffs. And we end that with, so help me God. But God is absent from the media's message or Black Lives Matter or any other group out there that's making themselves a spectacle, disrupting what we know to be our quality of life in this country. In Clay County, we have a great quality of life. We have a great relationship with our community. But across this country, not so much. I just wanted to take a stand with these men and with these women who feel the same way that I do. Lawlessness, that's unacceptable in this country. Lawlessness, that's unacceptable in Clay County. And if you threaten to come to Clay County and think that for 1 second that we'll bend our backs for you, you're sadly mistaken. I know what happens when lawlessness prevails. And in this day and time, God is raising up men and women, just like the folks you see standing behind me, who will have strong backbones and will stand in the gap between lawlessness and the good citizenry that we're sworn to protect and serve. So you can threat all you want. You can say, hey, let's go to Clay County, or let's go to some other peaceful county where their problems don't exist, or not so much like across this country, where relationships are great and not strained, and where the people support their sheriff and support the men and women who wear the uniform. And you'll have something waiting on you that you don't want. Yes, we'll protect your constitutional rights as long as you remain under the umbrella of peaceful protest or peaceful march. But the second that you step out from up under the protection of the Constitution, we'll be waiting on you. And we'll give you everything you want. All the publicity, all the pain, all the glamour and glory for all that 5 minutes will give you. Is it a threat? Absolutely not. But somebody has to step up in front of the camera and say, enough is enough. Tearing up Clay County, that's not going to be acceptable. And if we can't handle you, you know what I'll do? I'll exercise the power and authority as a sheriff, and I'll make special deputies of every lawful gun owner in this county. And I'll deputize them for this one purpose, to stand in the gap between lawlessness and civility. That's what we're sworn to do, and that's what we're gonna do. You've been warned.
Alright, Shalom, this is Chanak Sha'an by Yasharala from the Lions in the Yasharala camp. And first and foremost, I'd like to say Ka Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakah Kodash, by Bach. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, and salutations to the archon that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Alright, this lesson is just going into the video I just played. Basically going on, he's this sheriff of Clay County, and I live in a neighboring county to Clay County in Duval County, and I used to work in Clay County, and the sheriff is basically giving Esau the green light to gun down Jake for the ones that are protesting. So now he says the ones that are peaceful protesting are okay, but if you put a gun in the hands of Esau, what we deem to be peaceful, he might not feel the same way. So basically, he's giving Esau the license to shoot Jake at these protests, and he's the one to be in the sambo that's trying to be like his oppressor, not understanding that he's the one also being oppressed. He's basically a house nigga, Uncle Ruckus, and that's messed up that he's giving them a green light, because you got a lot of individuals like, okay, you have Jake that'll go out there doing those peaceful protests, and you've had Esau that has been caught being the violent ones, trying to be a part of these protests, and Jake's being blamed for it. So you're gonna and we've been prophesying about this for many times. Like you see, you're protesting and marching because you see one Jake getting gunned down by the police, but he's trying to deputize in Clay County, all the way up from Orange Park to Middleburg. Like ain't nothing but racist crackers out there. I used to work out there. I live close to the Clay County on the west side of Jacksonville, and it's not a pretty sight, man. All you see is nothing but 4x4s, Mickey Thompsons, and Confederate flags out that way. Good old boys. Clay County, Orange Park, and Middleburg are very racist areas of town. Not good for Jake. So basically, he's giving Esau a green light to gun Jake down, man. I'm not gonna make this too long, but it's a pretty serious topic because what happens if JSO, where I live in Duval County, wants to follow suit and deputize individuals, just like how you had the prime example, the two Edomites that came out of their home for what nothing violent going on at this peaceful protest, but they came out of their home. One woman had a handgun, and her husband had an assault rifle. And nobody that I know of, nobody at this protest had weapons. But the wife, she had her finger on the trigger, pointing at innocent bystanders at these protests. Now, I'm not for these protests. The only thing I'm for is to profess the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans being the children of Israel, and the ones that look like these other nations. So we judge the spirit according to the spirit. But that sheriff is in the spirit of Esau, man, and he's working not even undercover for Esau. He's making it plain and known, and he's doing this for political gain because he wants to become a congressman, and he wants to be reelected as sheriff. So he'll probably get the votes from Esau because like they're for this, just like how they said during the whole protest thing they were talking about, hey, get the police out the way. Suspend the police for a month. And Esau came out and said, yeah, suspend the police for a month so I can come down there and gun y'all down and not get in trouble for it. Esau said it plain as day, like, you suspend the police and watch how we make y'all beg for them. Y'all coming against the police, we'll make y'all beg for them. And Esau's waiting, mainly these going to be Trump supporters that are going to be waiting for the green light to gun Jake down. Like they want to have an opportunity and a chance to do things like this, and it's sickening because, he doesn't understand that. So he doesn't understand like these people don't have a right to be protesting. Like the protest is not a way to go, but it's not like they're just doing this out of thin air. Hey, let's go march and protest one day. The protest ain't the way to go. The way to go is to turn to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and He will protect the ones that are of His elect and the ones that truly believe in His name. But these other Jakes are trying to find their own way of reconciling this situation or finding justice, and you're not going to get any justice from the wicked. I want to get a couple scriptures real quick talking on this topic. It's this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Right. So we're heading into very perilous times right now. Sad perils. You're going to see destruction. You're going to see a bunch of killing. You're going to see famine. You're going to see pestilence. You're going to see plagues. You got the rising coronavirus, things like that happening. You got the vaccines coming. You got the RFID chip coming. And these are all, like, the things you're seeing right now are the beginning of sorrows. It's going to get a lot worse, man. It's going to get a lot worse. So if you're not covered by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I mean, I feel sorry for you. There's not this. It's so bad to where as if like it's hard to raise kids in this environment if you're not under the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. These times that we're heading in is going to be worse than 70 AD. Jacob's trouble, and he's giving Esau the green light to gun Jake down. All right. Verse 16 it said, "For there shall be seditions among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So, right, you've already had them wanting to take matters into their own hands without the police. Now the police is giving them the green light to authoritize themselves And if you think about it, the majority of law-abiding citizens that carry firearms are Esau. They immediately set up a system to where that entrap Jake, right? Entrap Jake, set Jake up to where we can't own firearms. Majority, and Jake with a firearm is it's not the same with Esau with a firearm because um Jake's getting gunned down unarmed. So imagine if we were walking around with firearms, what they would do. And that's the whole point of the matter. Like, you know, and this guy is so caught up in the system that he wants to be a part of this system. He doesn't understand the things that he's saying. He doesn't understand the trouble that the spirit on him is putting on Jake. But 2/3 of our people are going to have to go through this because they chose not to listen to the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, you know. So basically, his call to action on saying he would deputize law-abiding citizens, mainly Esau, man. That's the majority. That's what's out there in Clay County. So he's like, you bring this in Clay County. He's not even thinking about or being remorseful for the people that have been shot down by the police. There's not a pandemic or there's not a situation to where like innocent police officers are getting gunned down in the streets. No, it's innocent Jake. I say innocent because we're innocent compared to Esau, but it's not like the elect or the righteous are getting gunned down. These are 2/3 wicked individuals that are getting gunned down. However, it's still Jake, and it's still Esau showing the hatred towards Jake, and that's just it. And him giving authority or putting the idea out there to give authority to citizens to arm themselves and then be deputized to take action against protesters. So what are the guidelines that you're going to say that these protests are violent, non-violent, or violence? What guidelines are you going to go by to say that, hey, we need to stop these people? Because just like how before, where they caught the white girls spray painting BLM on the buildings. So now Jake's getting gunned down for no reason because they're trying to have a peaceful protest. But on the other hand, you have the riot inciters that have nothing to do with it, inciting these riots and inciting this destruction and inciting the vandalism that's going on. It's been proven that it's not Jake. It's not. Now there is Jake out there that's doing vandalizing stuff, looting and stuff like that. But there are some that are inciting riots that have nothing to do with it, that are helping point the blame at Jake, and it's all according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, but it's our job, even though we know this is for the 2/3 of our people. It's our job to warn the people, to let them know the reason why this is going on, because you're wicked and your wickedness is catching up to you. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has to judge you, and according to the judgment, it's going to come from Esau, the wicked, which is thy sword. And he's playing the hand of the wicked, falling behind the ways of Esau, man. Trying to put judgment on Jake, man. See if I can find this another scripture. Hold on. Bear with me for a second. All right, let me look it up real quick. Bear with me for a second. I thought it was that. All right, this is 1 Peter 4:17. It says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be for them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh?" Right. So this is all a calling of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to bring judgment on the children, on the whole world, but he's going to start with the children of Israel first. So you're going to have Jacob's trouble coming in, which you're already seeing Jacob's trouble right now, man. You know, and that's it. And that sheriff, he's a Jake too. He might be an Edomite, but he looks like a Jake. He's probably a Jake. He's a wicked Jake, because among the children of Israel are found wicked men, and he's one of them. He's going to get judgment too. You know, the Lord's going to judge him, but right now the Lord is using him to inflict judgment on the children of Israel, man. So, you know, it's best to stay clear from all that protest stuff, man, because that's 2/3 of Jake that's going to reap their judgment, man. And that's just it. It's all a calling of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And what it's doing is setting up the salvation of the ones that believe his name, right? So I didn't want to make this long. I just wanted to get straight to the point, man. Lord willing, it was edifying to serve this purpose. And I like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harukah Kodash, my mouth. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Ark that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We're almost out of here, man. It's going to be some sickening times that we're going to have to see, but the Lord said we're going to laugh while everybody else mourns, man, because we're at the time of mourning right now, and everybody else is at the time of mirth and feasting. But pretty soon these tables are going to turn, and the elect are going to be, you know, we're going to be rejoicing and laughing at the calamities along with Yahweh Shem Yahushua of 2/3 of our nation and these other nations. All right, Shalom.